Hello, I'm Sarah and I thought I'd share with you how I track my reading and what I read in July. I use my KikiK planner in Pulse Gold. This is the medium size, which to be honest is a little bit small for the amount I want to write about books, but on the flip side it keeps everything quite condensed, which makes creating my roundup a little bit faster. To decorate the top of the page, I've used some silver glittery washi tape, decorated my What I Read title in little fluffy clouds, and finally I did some nice scrolly writing to add the months. Still using washi tape, I cut some tiny bookmarks to bullet each reading entry. First book I read this month is The Light We Lost by Jill Santopolo. This is a proof copy, so not the finished book cover, but beautiful nonetheless. This is the love story of Lucy and Gabe, who meet in New York and you follow them throughout their lives. It's a very different sort of love story. At times the characters can come across a bit unlikable, but that's what I actually liked about this book. It highlights all the mistakes and changes people make in their lives and how it affects how they love. So if you're a little bit bored of romantic endings, then this is for you. Next up, I borrowed The Small Hand by Susan Hill from my local library, which is why it has that lovely library beaten look to it. I haven't come across many summer ghost stories before, but Susan Hill can pretty much write in any setting and still manage to have chills running down your spine. At the centre of the story is Adam, a book dealer whose travels for unique and precious books is also accompanied by something a little bit more sinister. A short but perfectly haunting story, and one that is great for summer reading. Finally, a book I haven't read despite loving other books by the author, but I wanted to read it before I watched the movie adaptation, so if you've seen the movie, do let me know how it compares. It is My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. The story is narrated by Philip, who is adamant that his cousin Ambrose has been killed under suspicious circumstances involving his wife Rachel. When Philip finally meets his new cousin Rachel, he falls under her spell, yet danger still seems to be lurking around the corner. Or is it? That's the big question. Daphne du Maurier is such a master of suspense and complex characters that I don't know who wouldn't like this book, but I loved it. I'm a big classics reader anyway, so I love this type of book, but if you aren't huge on the classics, don't let that put you off, because the story will captivate you from page one like it did me. So those are the 3 books I read this month. The weather has been so hot here, so I'm clearly just trying to hurry autumn and winter along by going for some dark mysterious stories. I've done a good quote on summer reads this year, so I'm happy to revert back to my beloved curl by the fire type of books anyway. Finally, I'm just adding a bit of colour to my reading tracker and a few little doodles that represent the books in a very, very simplistic way, but it's a bit of fun and adds a nice splash of colour to my page. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I'd love to hear your thoughts on these books. So do have a chat with me in the comments below.